calling card.
Yeah, name a better duo.
So it looks like we are going to get started here. It's going to be ThePooN, Snorlaax, Musty, Justman, Amasetic, Haadez, boleks, and Xepei on France's first pick here. Looking to begin, you know, maybe a good run here in OWC for them as they get a couple early breaks out of Finland, start things off on the right foot for France.
Yeah, but Nomad 1 was banned because there was a 1.5 million difference. Guess what the other 1.5 million difference in points map was? Well, it was DT2, which is pretty much this one, but a bit harder.
Yeah, so, you know, the feeling there then, I think, is France gonna try to opt into mechanics because based on those qualifier results, that's what they were a lot stronger than Finland on. So we'll have to see what kind of stuff Finland will look towards, as they've already broken all 4 of their full combos. France still has 3 alive. So this one is going to get out of hand in a hurry. This is not a long map. It's only 2 minutes, and it's already up to a 200,000 plus point lead.
Yeah, so far solid free wave C from France, which could very well stay until the end, mostly because there's not anything new except for maybe the slider, where we did see some people break on. Just be aware of that side, and you should be fine if you do have the stamina for this. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a 1 million point difference at the end of the map. But Amasetic did break. The slider's coming up. No breaks yet. All right.
Yeah, nobody broke on the slider, but that's a big lead there for France. I would say this one is safely in the bag for them. A very solid first pick. The accuracy leaving a little bit to be desired for France, but in this matchup, it's not going to be an issue of accuracy battles. It's going to be having several big combos, maybe an FC or 2.
Okay, 2 misses at the end. Musty missed twice, and Snorlaax also missed once, but it wasn't enough because, as you said, the map is pretty short. And there we go. We have 1 C by ThePooN only. Okay.
Yeah, you know, like you said, the unfortunate late misses there. Musty with 2, Snorlaax with 1, justman with an early break, but didn't end up mattering. The 640k dropping down pretty far from Amasetic. Unfortunately, Xepei down below 800k as well. On these early round DTs, I think those are not the scores that players would like to see, unfortunately for them. But it was the first pick from France, so kind of to be expected there, and they take the quick 1-0 lead.
Alright, how is Finland going to answer? They did have a solid hard rock roster in general. It's more focused towards the CS6.5 on things rather than the jumpy hard rock one. I can also potentially see them go for DT2 or DT1.
Yeah, I could see this being a hard rock 2 angle for them. Like you said, their best score in the qualifiers was on the 6.5 pick. So maybe a team that, you know, likes precision, likes that small circle stuff. My other thought, you know, like I was saying, maybe if you're Finland, you try to avoid mechanics against this very strong mechanic France team. So that means, you know, going into something like a Nomad 3 or 4, those types of maps more so than, you know, the ones of the pools, as it were, which are going to be more aim focused, or something like a Nomad 2 or 5, which is going to be, you know, that kind of speed skill set.
Yeah, some things I could imagine to also be a decent avenue is the free mods, because those weren't quite present in the qualifier. So they could maybe go for something slightly outlandish, but they will go for the number 5. It's kind of an extension of DT2 for speed, just a bit more aim and a bit more spacing all around. So I guess this is the closest to DT1 in the qualifiers if they really want it to be.
Yeah, and that's interesting because, you know, I was thinking maybe that's, you know, tapping maps are the thing to avoid here for Finland, but they're going to jump right in. I mean, you can't really straight up compare this DT3 with this Nomad 5, the much more of a straight stamina speed than the DT3 was, so, you know, maybe this falls better into Finland's skill set. Another short one too. I am a big fan of the map links in this pool. It's there's quite a few nice and short, concise picks. This one, minute 53, minute 54, which you know, just long enough to kind of give you that early taste of what, you know, later speed picks will probably bring, but short enough that you're not going to be exhausted on stamina too easily.
Well, yeah, there's always the underrated difficulty of just a longer pick. If this map was just extended for 1 more minute, it might even be potentially around a 16 difficulty. Just the length of maps is really driving home the difficulty on some of the maps. And it's way easier to concentrate for 2 minutes than for 4 minutes, which shouldn't need any further clarification, but yeah. If Finland think they can focus really hard for 2 minutes and get a win on this one, well, let's see them execute on it.
Yeah, this map is pretty approachable. I mean, it's only 240 BPM, so it's not excessively fast, and I think that there's a decent amount of relatively free combo in it as well. There's, I think, like kind of 2 longer, more difficult sections, but other than that, doesn't throw too much raw difficulty at you. There's, you know, the triple and quint sections, but you know, baby's first no mod 5 as suits a round of 32 pool.
Yeah, one thing I can see people miss on are there are some bursts where under the last node of the burst there's a bit of a break and then a slider or a node. So if you tap one node too many, you're gonna miss.
Yeah.
Just slight finger control required. Just enough so you automate here.
I noted that down to myself when I was doing research on these maps. Like, oh, there's these little, like, 1/4 gaps in a couple of places that can be easy enough to trip up on if your finger control isn't quite on point. So we will see if that affects any of the players. Due to a couple of player changes, get Ekoro coming in, for instance, for the France side. But most players look to be very comfortable at the beginning here. That is going to be a break from justman, though. First FC gone for France. Finland going to take the lead here on their own first pick.
And Finland is matching France's accuracy, I think, blow for blow right now.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good for them. 99s on Amasetic and Haadez, just below 99 on HENKSELI. Boleks slightly behind on accuracy, but ThePooN is down under 98 as well, so not a big difference there. This is going to be just that couple hundred combo difference. It's about 300 combo from the FCs back to justman, and we're already coming towards the end. I mean, there's only, what, about a quarter of the map left to go. This lead seems to be tenable here for Finland, looking to pull off the early point here. You'd like to see teams starting with a little bit of momentum on their own first selection. But there is a late break from HENKSELI. That could be a difference maker, but Musty trades it back, fortunately. So France will not be able to take advantage. And there go ThePooN and Ekoro. Did they just both entirely miss the same burst?
They did.
Oh, man.
I think they just overthought the overlap. That was one of the overlaps. And yeah, another overlap. Ekoro missed on that one too. And Haadez missed on that one. Okay.
Now that escalated quickly. That is a very good point from Finland. The what is that? I believe triple FC coming out from Amasetic boleks. Haadez may have had a slider break like right at the end. But
right at the end, he missed pretty much the last slider of the map.
Yeah, but that's a very good pick and a very good point from Finland. And winning so handily, so comprehensively on a no mod 5 makes you think that maybe that DT2 remains an option for them as well. So they've already got maybe their next pick kind of in mind, regardless of what France does here. And that's a good early start to the match. You know, the quick 1-1. Nobody able to establish themselves in the lead. And now France with a decision to be made for what they'd like to go into for their second pick.
I mean, France, on the other hand, does have a lot of options to go for here. If they really want to double down on DT2, they can. I don't think the reason why they lost is purely because of the speed and the tapping, but mostly because of the type of map it was. Missing and just maybe mind blocking on some of the overlaps and then overthinking how many times you have to burst and then you just missed before the overlap. And that happened to 2 people in the same overlap. DT2 on the other hand is way more low spaced, so it could be an avenue of attack, but you know, maybe Scarred from the normal 5 don't want to go for it. That's completely understandable. They still have stuff like the normal 4, the tech map in normal. I can definitely see them go for that, or just even Hidden 2 if they truly want to.
I'm curious if Hidden 2 ends up being picked in this match. I don't really characterize either of these teams with like low AR prowess, and it's going to be another DT, so we're just gonna see France sticking in that same pool. They go over to the double time 1 pick, so we're gonna see Haadez dance, which is again, you know, kind of that staple DT1, mostly you know, fairly comfortable aim, which is something that France is very, very strong on, as we've said. So I think this is a pretty logical type of pick from them. And I expect good scores on this map, I think.
I still can't get over how high of a star rating this map has, and everyone still thinks it's balanced.
It's what, 6.57?
Yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah, it is the highest star rating in the pool by like 0.1 or something, and that's compared to Hard Rock 2, which is also like weirdly high star rating.
Yeah, I already noticed some weird Hard Rock 2 or small circle shenanigans when last year in finals our Hard Rock 2 was essentially 0.3 or 0.4 stars higher than normal one, and it was fine.
Yeah, I think we can kind of just chalk that one up to the star rating system not really knowing what to do with certain skill sets compared to others. It's very easy to look at a basic, you know, like an aim map or a stream map and say, okay, that star rating makes sense, but like tech or alt or small circles, you just don't know what the system's going to say about it.
Yeah, and this one, the higher the star rating, the more genuinely raw difficult it should be. So according to that, this one should have a decent amount of speed and aim mixed into it with the high star rating. So just a raw skill set test here.
Yeah, I think this is what you like to see for DT1s. Much more straightforward than something like a hidden one, for example, this week, or even a little more straightforward than the Hard Rock one. Very comfy sort of aim style, but got to be able to play the 247.5 BPM.
Right, please don't round up or down, otherwise you might have some offset issues.
Yes, that's true. It's always funny to me to look at those half BPMs, but players obviously not having any trouble with that until the break from Apisedo. So one miss from Finland here going into the first key eye. France will try to take a little bit of a lead. Still low combo, so not a lot of score on the board yet. And ThePooN Hifkil. Oh. Okay. A double break for France. That's not good.
This is pretty much why I thought that Finland could maybe go for this one, because this is pretty similar to DT1, which Finland actually on one run outperformed France on.
Yeah, I don't know that I personally expect to see what's happening to France here, as Snorlaax breaks as well. France down to a grand total of 1 FC against the double FC from Ataraksia and Haadez over on Finland. That early round consistency coming in clutch for Finland as justman breaks as well. No FCs left. This is looking like a very possible break point here for Finland as Ataraksia and Haadez looking very comfortable. To see what happens in this PI section. Everybody looking good. They make it right through. That is a big lead. Finland at almost 500k to the good. Just the last quarter of the map to come. Not a lot France can do here.
Yeah, despite looking at the qualifier results, I didn't expect France to just crumble on this map.
Yeah, this is a really unexpected showing. There's a break from Ataraksia. I believe that was on that buzz slider. It was easy enough to just slightly miss tap on those, but it's not going to affect the outcome at this point. This is a humongous lead. And Finland are going to take the first break point of this match, and it's not even going to be close. This is nearly 1,000,000 points that they are going to win on France's selection, and they will have their own pick to come. That feels good if you are this Finnish side. Starting off the match with a quick break point on the second pick from France, the ability now to pick and go up 3-1 after, what was it, a 922,000 point win. Well.
All right, that's, I mean, so far, I would say, pretty good performance by Finland on this one, especially. France might have just been I don't know, something happened there. Maybe everyone at the same time just kind of missed the stars aligned, which helps Finland, obviously. Hopefully they'll get right back into it for the next few maps. France,
I mean, we think of them as a very strong mechanics and a very strong aim team, but their aim looked to be kind of what let them down a little bit on both of those maps, like you were talking about on Nomad 5, you know, misaiming on a couple of those bursts, on DT1, misaiming on just some basic aim patterns. So they're going to have to rethink their approach to this match a little bit. Fortunately for them, possibly, not a lot of aim left in the pool, but Finland now taking their time on this pick because this is pretty important. With that 2-1 lead, with that breakpoint in their back pocket, they will want to consolidate that, so they've got to find their best pick here, try to take that 3-1 lead, really put the pressure on France. Based on what we've seen so far, do you think maybe the DT2 comes out, or do you think they go somewhere else?
Yeah, I'm actually playing around with the idea of maybe going for the DT2, but mostly because of a different reason. Because of their former roster for DT2 would most likely include ThePooN, who got a 94% accuracy, I think, FC on DT3. So I don't know. That just seems to me maybe he's not warmed up. So you can maybe take advantage of that and go for the DT2. They will, however, opt for the hidden 2, which I expected more France to maybe go for, because generally I see few FCs on this one, and Ekoro is really comfortable on approach 8 hidden. And he's also the standard player for the qualifiers on both hiddens. So he'll probably be the driving force for the carry here, and then probably get supported by his team.
Yeah, I do agree. I think Ekoro is a scary guy to go against on anything in general. I mean, the dude's just really good, but especially on some of the lower approach rate and gimmickier maps. What's a little scary to me though is if France can't put together an optimal 4-man roster, which I don't know how great, kind of their fill players are going to be for A8. That does put a lot of pressure on Ekoro, and he did put out a tweet a little bit ago talking about, kind of some of his nerves going in, because the expectations for him this year are so high. So if you come into a map that he's, kind of their expected carry for, those nerves might get a little bit worse. And Finland kind of playing with house money here. I don't think many people favor them in this matchup, so they're kind of going out with nothing to lose, and they can just come in and just kind of play Osu. They're just coming into clicks and circles. Much less pressure on their side in an underdog match like this. So the nerves maybe will be expected to affect them less.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point, because I also always remember back in when I played tournaments, sometimes your picking strategy might not be optimal because of the players and how they feel on the day. If you look back at what France picked, they picked DT1, and I think they didn't have Ekoro in for the lobby. So maybe Ekoro is just not feeling very confident in himself right now, which is why they will opt to pick for something that for other people outside of Ekoro could play.
Yeah, and one other thing that I'm looking at a little bit too, you mentioned, ThePooN coming in and having a little lower AC. I took a look back through the 3 maps we've played so far. ThePooN has gotten the worst AC in the lobby on all 3 maps they've played so far, which for a player of his stature, we know what he's capable of. We know how good he is and how high his skill cap is. That's a little bit concerning if you're France, to have your on paper best player performing below his standards and below the expectations for what he needs to do. So both Ekoro with the nerves and ThePooN underperforming a little bit to start off this match. With it only being a best of 9, Finland, I think, really wants to jump on that quickly here and take advantage of that little bit of underperformance, because, they only need 3 more maps, and if they can pick some shorter stuff and find some good wins, this will be untenable for France in a very fast sort of fashion. So we're going to go into Hidden 2, and we're going to see what happens on this very classic hidden aim-based A8 hidden, that Mirage Stelis style that everybody knows and loves.
Yeah, do you remember the old maps and how fun they were to play with all the patterns and the symmetry? And you think of Dallas, and now you think of a modern Mirage for like all the Approach 8 tournament hiddens you see. And well, here we have the best of both worlds. Let's see how they will fare on this.
Yeah, I'm very curious. We did the preview stream for this tournament and discussed Finland being a team that has players who are really good at early round consistency, kind of across the board in terms of skill set. And they're looking to prove that so far, and we do get the early break there from Thundur on the France side. Ataraksia, though, does trade it back, but so far that consistency is working out. Haadez holding the only SS in the lobby for the first 300 or so combos as well. So it's going to be a very, very closely fought thus far. We're going to have to see some breaks to really differentiate those scores because everybody looking pretty comfortable. As expected, Ekoro doing well for himself. ThePooN picking that act back up as well as NerO matching the FCs on their side. Just a break from Amasetic. Okay. France looking for the break back.
Alright, that was a misread of the overlaps from Amasetic. He seems to be still on point with his aim. Hopefully he'll keep his combo up. But we'll get right into the solo and then the second KI, and there's gonna be a few misses here potentially because of the amount of squares.
Yeah, this style of aim and the patterns in this, I mean, like you said, there's the squares, there's some linear aim. If you're just not really on point with that aim, with your, your cursor control aim, you have some problems in this map. Pretty simple, but no big discomfort. Oh, there goes ThePooN. I don't know if you're a second ahead or doesn't.
No, I'm just seeing Amasetic's cursor shake.
Oh, okay.
And I'm a bit scared because NerO also just missed.
Okay, wait a second here. This can come back at the last quarter. There's time left. Ekoro is the only remaining full combo for France. Amasetic repeatedly breaking, but they still have the FCs on Haadez and boleks. They still have a big combo on Ataraksia. This can come back here at the ending for Finland if they're able to hold on. Any break for France could spell their doom on this map, but they are clinging to about 100k lead. It is coming down at the end. Haadez still holding the SS. Will that be enough? It may be enough to pull the score over, but a late break from Amasetic is... Oh, it's going to come in the last few notes of the map, and it's not going to be enough. France clings to the lead and manages to hold on by 61k despite the SS from Haadez and the backing full combo from boleks. Just unfortunate for Finland that Amasetic's score did not end up being where they needed it to be. And Ekoro with the FC managing to do enough thanks to the pretty solid backing scores, and France take the break point right back. That was about as close as it gets.
Alright, France's performance, kind of what you probably would have expected, like the one misses here and there, but like still 700 to 800k points, a lot of points, but it makes sense why Finland picked this. Haadez getting the SS, if you're that comfortable with this map, and with the ending, with the sliders, it's so easy to get a 100 there, and you still hold an SS through that, it's gonna be really comfortable on this one, or practice this one a lot. So the pick makes strategically a lot of sense.
Yeah, I definitely don't fault them for picking that map. It was clearly, it literally was just a difference of one player having a couple fewer breaks. I think that may as well be the first SS we've seen in the tournament so far. Somebody can check on that for me, but that might be the first SS of the weekend.
It wouldn't surprise me, yeah.
Okay.
At the very least on that map or on the Hidden in general. I mean, great for performance by him, and it's totally even right now. Break points were traded, but I mean, there's plenty of maps left to be picked, and I'm really interested to see how free mod might end up looking like.
Well, not gonna get to see any free mod quite yet. We're gonna go Hard Rock 1. France gonna return to that kind of aim type of mapping that we kind of expect out of them, and we have confirmation that was the first SS of this round, so congratulations to Haadez. I feel like that should be that could be a cool little prediction tournament type of thing. Who will achieve the first SS, or what match will have the first SS of the round, or what map. That'd be kind of a cool thing to do. But yeah, this is gonna be Mushikui Saikide Rhythm, the pick here from France. Hard Rock 1. No surprise from that team.
No, 3-minute map, consistency, 2 BPM, has plenty of bursts and jumps. It's just all around, has everything you really want, with a bit of linear aims. So a bit of like old patterning in here, so you can definitely miss on those, even though the spacing's pretty low. Kinda slightly, very slightly reminiscent of Hidden 2 and some of these linear patterns, but way more comfortable to read, and it's way easier to just go complete caveman mode, C circle, click circle. Don't even think about it, because it's approach to 10.
Yeah, this is really just... It's testing base mechanics much more than anything else. I like the I like the kind of the inclusion of a little bit of an older style aim map here. It's nice, you know, it's something that we don't always see. A lot of the times the Hard Rock ones are kind of these more modern, you know, Skyflame or similar types of picks. This one harkens back several years. Everybody, I think, has a soft spot in their hearts for RLC mapping. This is a very fair test of aim, couple of triples and bursts. You know, it's a little bit higher BPM than the other aim maps in the no mod hidden pools.
Yeah, and if you do have a soft spot for these hard rock ones, then I think you're in luck for the rest of the tournament.
I'm excited. I look forward to the Mappool showcases to see what we're going to be getting. It'll be always a cool one. I think there's something to be said for that particular slot. Looks like we are, I think, set to go here. You got Musty, Hifkil, ThePooN, and justman for France. Apisedo, Ataraksia, Xepei, and Haadez for Finland. After the traded break points, teams back on even footing at 2 points apiece. So all of you out there with 5-2 in your pick'ems one way or another, well, hope that somebody can win 3 points in a row. And we'll see as we go into Hard Rock 1 on this No Skip Sunday.
I mean, sometimes you gotta enjoy the song, right? It's a rhythm game after all. Players don't want to skip, players want to get their grips ready for the map, and it seems to be that's the case for everyone except for Xepei.
Yeah, just a little bit of an early break for him, but gonna be the worst. And it's gonna start off with a very small France lead. But this is gonna be the longest map we will have played to this point, over 3 minutes for the first time in this match on map number 5. This is that type of map that, you know, I think breaking almost anywhere kind of feels bad. It's not like there's a clearly defined diff spike per se. It's a relatively consistent type of pick. So trying to keep up that aim consistency over the link is going to be the name of the game. So far, everybody having a good time. It is 7 full combos and 1 very near full combo. That of Xepei, about 20 combo behind it's all.
Yeah, one thing I'm wondering though is if ThePooN has some setup issues, because he keeps getting really low accuracy on stuff which arguably should be pretty easy to get accuracy on if you're a veteran harder player, which he is. And he's just getting 100s all around.
Yeah, I mean, other than Amasetic on the last map, he has still gotten the worst stack out of everybody on every map so far. So it is maybe something going on with his computer setup. That is a traded break from Hifkil and Apisedo. No real damage done either direction. Yeah, ThePooN down at 97%. I mean, you look around the lobby at the accuracy and everybody else. Musty still holding the SS. justman and Hifkil up at 99.5, 99.6. Meanwhile, I'm a little concerned for the ThePooN's act. As long as he can keep the combo up, though, that's going to be the most important part. He is doing that.
It's all about combo gaming.
No major breaks. I mean, it's really just that trade. France with a small lead, but this is staying quite close here. It's going to come into the last KI looking like about dead even. Only, what, 54,000 points between the teams, so that's 1 break anywhere. No pressure here, guys. A lot on the line. Somebody looking to take a 3-2 lead. But if it holds as we are seeing so far, it looks like France are going to maintain this advantage just with that small combo lead for Hifkil over Apisedo. Oh, but ThePooN does find a break finally, as does justman. Oh, that is 2 breaks at the worst possible time. Apisedo finds a miss, but the triple FC still intact for Finland. They're going to close this out, and that's going to be another break point. Wow. The mechanics letting France down. Musty, justman, ThePooN all breaking in the last KI. Ataraksia, Haadez, Xepei saying, thank you very much, we will take that. And a 3rd straight break point leaves Finland in a 3-2 lead.
I don't know, Finland just seems to be so much more comfortable on these easier maps compared to the showcase, and it definitely shows. I mean, the freeway FC on this map, I mean, okay, Xepei did get a really early slider break. Let's not call that one. I mean, he's got over 1 million points. I mean,
yeah,
I would call it an
16 combo in. I'm just gonna say it's an FC. No, he could have missed 16 slider ends. You don't know.
Exactly, 16 slider ends despite having less than 1600s. But we'll go with that. I mean, just really good performance by Finland, I would say. France is underperforming, I would say, slightly, but Finland is overperforming quite a bit, or at least maybe that's just how they usually perform on this pool.
I think it's a little bit of the latter. I really do think that Finland is quite strong on an early pool like this. Their consistency, they're all very experienced tournament players who, you've seen a lot of these guys in like 4-digit tournaments where this sort of difficulty of Mappool, you're going to see that every time. And so they're just coming in and doing what they need to do. And France, man, I don't know what just happened to them on that pick. That was very strange. They just kind of fell apart in that last ki. And like we've been saying, I wonder, ThePooN's got to be having like some computer issues or something. I don't really know necessarily the cause, but you don't expect a guy like him to get 96 AC on a map like that. I mean, it's just really unexpected.
If you get a 90% accuracy like Musty and you miss once, that's kind of expected. You miss on the combo, you get a good accuracy, but low accuracy mostly seems to be an underlying problem.
But, I don't want to take anything away from Finland either. Like we said, they are playing very, very well in this match so far. This pool seems to be suiting them quite well, doing a pretty good job. But 3 straight break points. Finland going to go into the first of our free mods. It's going to be free mod 1. Going to see if somebody can finally win their own pick here. And it would give them a match point if they were able to do so. So this one very important now. The last 2 picks of this match are going to be key. Absolutely key. And Tsukiyomi is going to be the starting point for that.
Yeah, I mean, another 2-minute map. Short and spicy for all of these players involved. I mean, we already saw 3 people seeing pretty much on Hard Rock 1, which I would say is not... It's a distant cousin of this map, let's put it that way. It's not quite closely related, but it is a distant cousin. More so than a random stranger on the street. And I mean, you saw 2 people seeing on Hidden 2, and one of them assessing, and you saw, so they have comfortable reading and hidden players. Then you also see the good performance on Hard Rock. I think free mode, they could probably just go for 2 mods or something, but I would say that just judging by how France performed so far, it's not down to a 4 FC, so you probably choose on both teams, you take the 1 mod each and the no mod twice, and just go for the 4 FC in that case.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the most likely. I think you probably see maybe Musty Hard Rock and Thundur, I guess, on Hidden, and then let ThePooN and justman run the Nomad. For Finland, not actually sure. Well, we're loading in anyway, so it's going to be boleks Hidden Hard Rock and Haadez on the Hidden only. All right, I was 1 off. It's going to be Musty and ThePooN on Nomad. justman running Hard Rock. Thundur is going to be the hidden player. So both teams kind of matching little, that slight overmod for Finland, but I think Hidden Hard Rock on this doesn't seem unreasonable. This map is pretty straightforward. I think either mod can have a good time on it, but they're looking for just that little bit of score advantage. If they expect a lot of FCs, I can definitely understand where Finland's coming from with that choice. And Thundur misreading those back and forths quite badly. That's not how you want to start out.
Yeah, I do like the idea of putting Musty on the no mod so you can guarantee the FC with a really high accuracy. Justman does miss now, so it is all about the no mod FCs right now for France.
All right, they are putting all the eggs in their carry player baskets. There's first break going to come out from Finland on boleks, that Hidden Hard Rock player, but it's going to be justman full missing a stream. He dropped all the way down to 92 AC. The Hard Rock not working out very well for him. And it is still a 3-way full combo for Finland. They are in a pretty decent spot here. This map is very short, already halfway through, and a greater than 100,000 point lead as they cleanly make their way through those streams into the slightly slower section here.
Yeah, I would say this map is definitely harder on Hard Rock than on Hidden. At least it was the case for playtesters. So I'm okay with both these Haadez players just performing slightly worse in score than the rest of the team, which is what I would expect from this. But the only thing that matters is boleks is outperforming justman, and the rest of Finland is also looking really good right now.
Yeah, I am consistently very impressed over the course of this match by the performance of these Finnish players. TripleFC and HENKSELI, Ataraksia, Haadez, and there goes Musty, the Nomad player breaks for France, and that's really going to just do it. Finland's going to take this point, and they're going to take a 4-2 lead. That's going to be match point in their favor. This is remarkably strong. You know, I said before the match, like, I know Finland can do well on early pools, but I didn't think it was going to be quite this strong from them. Another big victory on their own pick. They win by almost 700k, and that's 4-2 Finland. That's match points. That is France on the back foot and on the edge of being dropped into the loser's bracket much earlier than they would have expected.
Yeah, and I mean, if you just close your eyes and you ignore the flag and the team name right now, I mean, you could tell me this is Germany's performance, and I would probably buy it. A 3OC and the hidden Haadez guy just one slider breaking the map. I mean, insane performance.
Yeah, this is really, really impressive just in general. I mean, these scores, like, you could put this up against anybody and they'd be doing pretty competitive work. And that is a very quick Nomad 2 pick for France. So, you know, I think we kind of expected this to come out. There was the likelihood of this map showing up eventually. This has been, I think, a closeout map for a couple teams. I feel like we've seen it be the last map of a couple different matches. But France going to try to use it to kind of claw their way back into this one. They need to win this and get a break point just to send it to tiebreaker. So a lot of pressure now coming in on this map, which could now be the last map of the match.
I mean, just looking at the qualifier results, you see Finland being the underdogs. You look at the past few maps, and you actually see France being the underdog suddenly. The roles have been reversed, and France needs to step up and actually start comboing, because so far they haven't really been doing so.
Yeah, France has found a lot of kind of unexpected breaks for their strength of roster. I don't think you really anticipate the kind of misses you're seeing from this team. You know, whether there's a lot of reasons I suppose we could posit for that. You know, just underperformance or setup problems like we were talking about with ThePooN, or overconfidence coming into a match that they expected to win. But whatever the case, they need to right that ship, and they need to do it as quickly as possible if they want to avoid a very surprising upset here. Finland, as I said before, kind of playing with house money, especially now that they've got that 4-2 lead. I mean, this is France's pick, so they can just come in and be like, all right, you know, we'll put in a roster that we think is good for Nomad 2 if we don't win. We still have our own last pick to try and close it out. So this is a very good spot for them to be in. And we're going to be starting.
Fun fact, the Nomad 2 in the qualifiers, if you take the best performance from Finland against the same run of France, they would win by 100k. The other time around, they would lose by 230k. So, for me, this map is pretty much up in the air for grabs. But if you judge the state France is in right now, I would probably bet my money on Finland right now.
Yeah, I think I actually can agree with that. You know, knowing that they had comparable scores in the qualifiers, and knowing that France can be something of an emotional team. I mean, when they get down, they can get really down. The negative, the tilt, you know, can definitely come out a little bit from France. Somewhat infamously over the last several years, I suppose. So they've got to really lock it in on this map. You know, play with the score off. You know, play with the leaderboard off. Just look at your own screen and don't think too much about the situation. Just play the map and put forth your best performance, because if you don't, this match could be coming to an end in a hurry.
Yeah, being emotional definitely shows you at least that you care, and I'm sure all of these players care a lot about this match and want to perform their best. But sometimes, sometimes you actually lose to yourself. That happened to me plenty of times. And boleks also lost himself right now, missing for the first time in the match right now, in the map.
Yeah, that'll be the first break of anyone. Fortunately, pretty early on. He's only a few hundred combo behind, but it does give that lead over to France. This, you know, on paper, this map looks very comfortable. 184 BPM, not too fast. The streams aren't super long. There's one or two kind of overlapping streams that can be somewhat tricky to aim, but for the most part, this is just a matter of making sure you're calm and composed. You know, you got that left hand working properly. And so far, 7 of the players not having any problems with that.
Yeah, this is the KI, so this is what people should be expected to miss. And Haadez, the second person to miss in this map, looking really good for France right now.
Yeah, this France roster is very, very strong on Nomad 2s. I think that kind of speaks for itself a little bit. Musty, ThePooN, you know, justman. Really a roster that you would expect to do well on stream maps. Almost surprising that they didn't go into this pick maybe with their previous selection. But, you know, hindsight is 20/20, and there is still a decent amount of map left to go. But another break from boleks there. That lead is only going to grow for the French side, and they're going to take a 400k lead or thereabouts into the last quarter. I think feeling pretty confident so far.
Yeah, boleks so far only getting 1 misses here and there, no chain misses, like, oh, HENKSELI just got. So the accuracy are looking really good, but the combos are just missing. Amasetic also, that's it. That is the point for France.
Yep. All right. Well, France comes out. Nomad 2 pick. They take care of business. Musty still on that SS. Snorlaax and justman with just a couple of 100s each. And France, you know, is going to be saying, hey, Finland, the ball is in your court. You guys have to make your own pick to win this. We're not going to give it to you on a break point. And that is a great performance. A triple FC with just a very late break from ThePooN. A huge win. That's the biggest win of the match so far. 1.3 million points. And now it will come down to that last pick from Finland after just a fantastic performance. 1/100 from Musty, unfortunately, right at the very end. But
yeah,
France doing what they needed to keep this match going. At least one more point.
Yeah, that's a really good number 2 performance. Can't really argue about that. France, this is what you expect on some of the maps, and they did deliver on number 2 finally. But Finland has a pick, and Finland has to make this pick count, otherwise we're going to the tiebreaker. And quite frankly, I'm not sure who's favored on the tiebreaker. I would mostly say France, because it's just a way harder map than the rest of the pool, so it's more reminiscent of qualifiers. But and it's very aim focused, so that's something Finland banned on Nomad 1. But I mean, if France wakes up on the tiebreaker as they did on Nomad 2, I would say that's definitely France favorite.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting if we get there. I guess we'll kind of comment on that if we do get to that point, because the pick is in here for Finland. And, you know, we talked about right at the beginning of this match the fact that Finland looked really good in qualifiers on that small circle size, the Precision CS 6.5 map in qualifiers. That was their best score. And it's going to be that same slot as their last pick here in the match. It's going to be Makes Me Wonder. 6.5. Got some bursts, got some streams, got a little bit of pattern aim. This one, something that Finland feels like is their best chance to close the match out of the few remaining maps in that pool.
Yeah, that's mostly why I was referring to the tiebreaker, because if they want to win this, I think this is the pick to do it. This is where they're most favored to win it right now. I mean, they do have 2 chances, but if they want to close it out, I think you gotta perform on this one, 100%.
Yeah, you never want to chance the tiebreaker, you know, by just kind of throwing away your last pick without adequate thought put into it. I really, that would be super suboptimal.
Yeah.
So Finland, this is best foot forward. Look to pull off the upset on Hard Rock 2. We did see, of course, you know, the Hard Rock 1 a little bit ago that they did win with a near triple FC, a very good performance. But France, you know, came back with a super strong performance on Nomad 2. So, this is going to be a very interesting spot to be in. It's going to be Musty, Snorlaax, ThePooN, and justman. It's going to be boleks, Ataraksia, Xepei, Haadez. It's going to be 8 players who've been performing quite well throughout this match. ThePooN, I believe, still has not FC'd a map yet, so he's going to be looking to stop that streak here, maybe get a full combo in to take this to a tiebreaker. Finland looking to win another pick of their own to close it out. And we are in to what could be the last map of this match, or which could be France sending us to a tiebreaker. And we are 2.5 minutes away from finding out which of those outcomes is going to be.
Alright. Nothing too surprising, it's just jumps and bursts, so slightly reminiscent of Haadez 1, just way small circle size, which, boleks and ThePooN currently trading misses, so for now, ball is still up in the air for grabs.
Accuracy, though, is going to be something I'm looking at. ThePooN at 94%, Snorlaax at 95%. Meanwhile, you've got a 98, 299s, and an SS on the side of Finland. So that accuracy is going to carry them in this early portion of the map while the combos are all still pretty much dead even. I suspect we will probably see at least 1 or 2 more misses before the map is over. I don't know who they will be, but right now, Finland enjoying a little bit of a lead thanks to that ACK advantage.
Okay, no one missed on that build-up here, which I would argue is one of the harder parts of the map. There's going to be another one of those coming up pretty soon, so we don't have to wait for too long for any potential misses to happen.
Right, but where are they going to come from? That's the question. It's a question that France does not want to NerO, but if they do, it's going to be Musty. He is going to be the second to break for their team. He's going to be the third to break overall. That's going to be advantage Finland now, but Ataraksia trades it right on back over. Little damage done. The lead just about 100,000 points. But there goes Snorlaax as well. boleks trades it back, but that is advantage Finland. boleks had broken earlier on. Xepei and Haadez still up there, and there goes Musty as well. Finland looking to run away with this one into the last quarter of the map. That lead is going to grow. justman and ThePooN with the combos for France, trying to keep it alive. But this is going Finland's way, barring a miss from Haadez or Xepei, and ThePooN and Snorlaax both break. That might just seal the deal. That may well be the upset. Set and done and dusted. Haadez with a late break, though it's not quite over yet. It's all on the shoulders of Xepei in the last few combo, but it's a couple 100,000 points. I believe Finland should have this in the bag unless something really tragic happens.
Yeah, and the ending is gonna be way calmer, and I think that seals the deal.
That's it. justman and Musty with the break. Xepei holds. Ladies and gentlemen, an upset is at our hands. Finland 5-3 over France. That is back-to-back wins by Nordic countries, Sweden and Finland, both getting the job done, but Finland with a resounding upset over massively favored France in this matchup, just putting on a clinic. Great performance from everyone on their roster putting that match together. A very well done job, and Finland will be advancing onward into the round of 16, and they will get a Japan team that barely scraped by Malaysia. So they've got now a chance to look at maybe a quarterfinal here in a few weeks. You never know. If they can keep this kind of performance up, the sky's the limit for this team.
I mean, genuinely, if you look at Finland, they came in prepared, and they came in and executed perfectly on the day. And that's pretty much all that matters. They knew their own strengths, they took advantage of it, they performed on their own strengths as well. I mean, if you take a 70-30, there's still a 30% chance of losing on a lot of maps, even if you're favored. And Finland made it 30%, almost a 0% on a lot of these maps. And just great job all around by Finland here.